being friends with me is not difficult. Don't lie to me and match respect.
Ah.
That's actually what I say to people all the time. I'm a natural lie detector. That's
why we do all the returns of Rusty.
So yeah, but that's a good way to have friendship. Match respects. Don't lie to people. Open, honest communication.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been getting better and better at it to the point of now we can tell each other anything and it's fine.
And with Tony as well.
Yes. I used that quote kind of because of the topic today. So, I guess we kind of forgot the whole...
Hi, Mama. Welcome to Mama G Gear. It's Mama G here. Rusty Dr. Rusty Blade.
Good. So there's our new opener. Hope you like it. I'm a little hyper. If you get this one first, I just opened my really exciting It's Always Sunny. Yeah. It's Always Sunny video. I literally don't let her talk.
No.
The whole video is just me.
I made one comment. She put her hand right in my face.
It was to show the thing.
I know, but I was in the middle of a sentence.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It's great.
So
I'm usually cutting her off.
So today we're going to talk about a concept. So a book was around a while ago, and even though Works Well with Others came out in around 2015.
That's the name of the book?
Mm-hmm. Ross McCammon, I believe the way he's writing this makes it sound like he was the author. If I am wrong, I apologize, but he does talk like he's the author. So this book came out, a specific thing, 2 beers and a puppy, was a part of the book that seemed to have become the most popular. And it went around for a while, super exciting, and then people kind of forgot about it. And actually at the end of this, he talks about the fact that he's excited that whoever just happened to repost it, it's around the internet again.
Oh.
So let's talk about what this is. It's a test. And it's a test that kind of helps you open your eyes up to the people around you. So you think of anybody, like my mom. I can think of my mom. Let's use this test for her. I know that she's a little scared because you never know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking I don't drink beer. And...
So speaking of that, so it's called 2 beers and a puppy, but it could be 2 coffees and a puppy. It's and what you'll understand.
Okay, so
it's just 2 drinks.
Hanging out with somebody that you care about because that you would have let's do coffee.
So
okay, gotcha.
Thinking of Mama G. Mm-hmm. Question 1: would I go out and enjoy 2 drinks with this human?
Oh, you do it when you're with me.
Yes. So
I've got my coffee.
Yeah, we go out all the time together.
Yeah.
So yes, you would qualify someone that would be a yes. My second question you ask about the person: would you trust them to look after a puppy over the weekend?
Oh, well, you have.
Yeah. So for you, you are a yes and a yes.
So I'm a 2 puppies and a beer, or whatever it's called.
So basically, now I can think of somebody else, and I'm not going to be specific.
Can I just interject because I'm a little confused?
I'm going to explain it better in a second.
Okay, you explain it.
So I am going to read a little bit from his article. So this is speed read, light paraphrasing. But so you think of this person. Now, somebody who you thought might be a 2 beers and a puppy might be a no beers and a puppy. You don't really enjoy spending time with this person, but you think they are trustworthy. So maybe someone you don't want to spend your day-to-day with, but you would trust them watching your dog for a weekend.
I'm finally getting it. Okay.
Sometimes people might be 1 beer and puppy for like an hour or 2. On a Saturday.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I'll do a little bit of time spending with you, and we're going to need breaks. And, like, yes, I would trust that you can, like, make sure my dog stays alive, but maybe not
I'm just
during,
running
like,
to the
fooding
store.
time.
I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep.
Then there's some people that would be, like, limitless beers and oceans of puppies. So that would be, like, a Mama G, or, like, literally all of the people that I work with at the shop. Like, I would trust all of them to do these things.
Yeah. Well, you trust them at the shop. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, like, this concept is supposed to help you open your eyes up to the people in your life.
And will also evaluate the level of friendship, the quality of the friendship.
Just because somebody's no beers doesn't mean you have to cut them out of their... Even if someone's no beers, no puppies, it doesn't mean you have to cut them out of your life.
No,
you just match
You know where... Well, I've always ever said that is when I meet somebody... I just want to know where I stand or where the relationship stands and evaluate the relationship and then deal with that relationship accordingly.
Yes.
So that's basically this 2 beers and a puppy.
It's just a very good, simple
that's
way.
Actually a very kind of cute way to make you think about things, because we don't you like a friend's a friend. Oh yeah, you never dissect
my
the
brain
levels
is
of their friendship.
Currently, like, not a puppy friend, not a puppy friend. I have you've seen the dogs. They're not just like, oh, you can open the door and let the dogs out. Up until last week, which kudos to Craig, he deserves to be proud of this. He found a harness the dog can't get out of.
You didn't tell me that.
I didn't tell you that?
No.
It's a 3-part harness. You have to, like, when you put the third part on, make sure you're up enough so you can still use the thing. But so it's a 3-part harness, and if you pull this way, this lower part tightens, and if you pull this way, the upper part tightens.
Oh, so oh wow! You did not tell me that, because
he's very new.
He's like a goat. He just gets out of any harnesses. Yeah.
If I had somebody watching the dogs before we had this new harness, literally one time I was responding to someone about a work question, and then I was going to put my phone down, and then I was about to actually, like, oh, let me, like, check some social media while I'm out here with the dogs. And instincts look over, and Dougal's at the very end of his leash backwards, where he had been sitting. So the second I was paying attention, he went farther, stood up, and started to back out. I had to, like, dive on him to stop. So yes, my puppy list is small. You can't leave anything out. Like, if this was on the table, this would be destroyed. My puppy list has to be small because I was going to say it
doesn't necessarily have to do with the person in that respect, though.
Yeah,
it has to do with the maintenance aspect of caring for your particular.
But that's
dogs.
Something I need to consider.
Oh, absolutely.
When I'm thinking about this concept, so I can also use the concept of who would I trust to look after your dogs. Yeah, well, that's going to be a different list since your dogs are a lot easier to
you just open the door and they run out and do their business or whatever, and they come back in when they feel like it. There's no fence or anything.
We didn't prep any of this, so
no, you never do. Yeah, we never.
We sometimes have, like, an idea, like today we're going to open up this box of It's Always Sunny stuff.
Oh, God almighty. Yeah. You got to watch that. I hope I'll hopefully remember to drop that before we drop this, but yeah, mid-sentence, she's just cutting me off.
I didn't know I did any of this until we were re-watching the video.
She's like, I wasn't very enthused. What are you talking about? You're like a manic lunatic with this, because she loves that show so much.
I also have the new tattoo, so.
And she did get a new tattoo. And
if you want to see it.
You did. I was going to ask you, and I'll ask you here, since you're all friends.
Open communication.
Yeah, absolutely. And we could always edit it out if it's the wrong question. But we have control. There's a contest for you got this tattoo because there's a contest?
No.
Oh, I must have read your text thing wrong.
Somebody reached out that likes to look up things about the show that might be writing an article or something like that. That's all I know.
So they're okay. All right.
I was going to pretend.
I knew there was something.
Freeze for a second, then jump into another position, so it looked like we edited something out. But I realized
you have to.
We didn't have that planned.
We didn't have that planned. No,
but we would have
if we thought of it ahead of time. Yeah.
Trust me, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
Dr. Mantis Toboggan.
Dr. Mantis Toboggan.
I'm not a doctor. No, not a doctor.
Well, I guess anybody could be a doctor. I mean, not really. That was wrong. I didn't mean to say it that way. But,
eight doctors just went, ooh, what was that?
Yeah, ow. I felt something in my back. No, I guess I didn't mean it that way. Never mind.
Anybody can use weapon.
Just
next. We could add another question to this. Like, 2 puppies, a beer, are you a doctor?
Yeah. All right. I'm just going to go into the joke that George Carlin had said, which I thought was great because it's so true. As much of what his humor was, is realization humor and reality humor. But one thing he said is, somewhere on the planet is the world's worst doctor.
It's true.
There's also the world's best doctor, but there is the world's worst doctor.
Somewhere there is the world's most mediocre median doctor.
Right, there might be, but somewhere there is the worst doctor.
Everything.
And the sad reality is that somebody has an appointment with him scheduled, So I always thought that, because it's very true, that, if you're going tops and bottoms.
So let's spiral back over to what we were talking. So we were basically talking about, like, different ways of, like, evaluating friendships.
Yeah. And friendships change. People come and go in and out of your life, and it's sad. If you have somebody in your life, and then for whatever reason, circumstances, people moving, whatever, you don't have them in your life anymore. In fact, to be honest with you, this is just weird because like I said, I didn't know what she was talking about, but the man that lives in my house, he had been working with a guy friend who was his boss, and they carpooled to all the job sites. And now he's a construction, so he's driving sometimes 2 hours to get to work. And then that guy, he ended up working at a different thing, and then he ended up with Billy. I didn't tell you this. So his friend Billy, now he's been carpooling with Billy, working with Billy, coming home, and then they sometimes would chat on the phone afterwards. So there was a really strong friendship bond with Billy, which there's still a friendship there. Billy just got another job at another company.
Ah, okay.
So now the man
in my
has
brain, I was like, are you about to like wildly overshare somebody's personal stuff? That
No.
about,
I'm learning not to do that stuff. So
you
anyway,
probably all saw it on my face.
My
like,
point, I didn't see your face.
We're gonna have to redo this whole video.
But so my point is that I even was talking to Tony about it. Is I was like, oh, here I'm thinking, now this just happened, so I'm thinking, oh boy, how sad for Pops, because she calls him Pops, is that here's something that was an everyday, he spent more time with this guy than he does with me.
They say that with coworkers.
And now he's driving to work by himself. I don't know who else is on these jobs, if he's got someone to talk to on these jobs. And so I even was saying to Tony, I was like, if the man starts bringing up a conversation, be mindful to, actually have a conversation with him, because he might be lacking that now because he doesn't have that with Billy. So when he came home, I says, oh, this was just yesterday, was his first time. I said, well, how was your day? He was, it was all right, and it must be weird, not having anybody all day. He goes, oh no, there's like 6 or 7 guys on the job site that I chat with during the day there. So now I know that it's really just the driving to and from, which is a little over an hour to get there, and then a little over an hour back. So some time, but I don't feel as bad that he's just spending the whole day by himself now, But I babbled on about that, but I don't even know where I was going with it. Whatever.
I was trying to think of how to relate that to what we were talking about.
Well, I guess
other than just like having
that's what
friendship.
I was. Yeah, what part of it was the impermanence of things in the world. I'm not going to get too profound here.
Oh yes, now I'm okay. So the
changes that happen in our lives. So he's still friends with Billy. He could still talk to Billy and whatnot. But like when we lose people,
can I try to pick up?
Yeah, please.
So if I can grab a couple pieces and maybe make
sense out of my
so maybe like the concept of like sometimes you lose friendships, and keeping everything completely anonymous. I will say I did lose friendships with people, and somebody recently reached back out to me, and it was one of those, as we talk about, where you can match, you can have certain areas,
Yes. Would you leave them with your puppies? You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing that out there because that's what we're referencing.
For the sake of this person's healing on their own, I don't wish ill.
Oh, never.
So I accepted an apology, and we met at a part where it's like, well, no disrespect, but I'm glad I gave that to you for your healing, but for my healing, this is where I part away.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
we've done that with other people, and I like the fact that, I mean, to cut you off, but one thing that Rusty says sometimes is, and it has to do with other people, not talk about this particular person she's mentioning now, is we want you to eat, just not at our dining table. I do say that a lot. I want you to eat, just not at my table. I wish you no ill. We just rather not have you, whatever toxicity or drama or whatever it is that broke.
It doesn't even have to be toxicity or drama. That's kind of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So like the concept that it doesn't have to be even that it would be bad if it was. It's just there's a past, and sometimes you just need to break away. Like it could even be things as simple as you're at a certain part of your journey that no longer fits in the puzzle piece. You can have people where there's absolutely nothing went wrong or nothing was wrong. It's just no longer
things
the time.
Change. Nothing is. It was impermanence, and I just like my brain is starting to fry out.
Yes,
that happens. We all know that. But yeah, no, I agree, and I being much older, there's been a lot of people that I would have said in my life that at that time in my life, they were my best friend. And I could never imagine them not being a part of my life for my existence. And you start learning, and you all probably know, because a lot of you all are more closer to my age, that, and it's hard sometimes that you realize chapters. Yeah, you go that people come in for a reason or a season, I mean, and or a lifetime.
Well, fun fact, there's actually in some cultures, speaking of like how we go through changes, it's less of an age-based thing, and there's some cultures where you actually change your name and everything as you're moving through these different life stages.
Okay.
I mean, scientifically, I am not the same physical atoms I was 7 years ago.
Every 7 years, yeah.
Anyone that met me when I was a teenager met a completely different human
physically. Yeah.
And I've actually have changed my name over the years and gone by different things. I still use some of the old names, but
yeah.
So I mean, it's one of those, like, you're going to change, people around you will change.
Yeah.
You want to match your energies, match your respects. Understand sometimes it's important for your own mental health. Some people are helpers. So if you're a helper, this sentence doesn't actually fit. And I don't just mean people that help, like there's a whole concept of the helpers. I'm a helper. I understand that I'm going to put a lot more out than I'm going to get in. And that's fine, because I've been around a long time.
And you already know that going into it. You're
I don't
not
need
expecting anything.
I don't need... I can help this person out. And I wouldn't bring this up other than the fact that I'm not trying to brag, but there's a guy that was had a sign looking for anything helps. I know I've seen him with his family. He's around the area, hasn't been able to find a job yet. And I walked up and I ended up pulling over and I handed him a $50 bill and it's like, eat really well today. So I pass that energy forward. I don't need, and that's why I say, and I'm only bringing this up to try to make this point, I don't need to post and have everybody tell me how great it is and all of that. I don't need that responsive energy.
She never even told me this. So I didn't even know you did that. I'm trying to recatch myself here. So I don't need that energy back from the person, because I can go out into the earth and get it. Well, and you also, you had received the gift of giving.
Yes.
There's a gift in that. And I actually bring that up in another video about all the people.
And that's not exactly what I'm saying, though.
Okay.
I'm trying to bring up the concept of some people need, so there's helpers, and then there's people that need to understand to match the energy. So this sentence doesn't work for the helpers. But if you have somebody in your life and you're constantly giving and you're like, oh man, I give to this person so much and they never get back in return, you need to reevaluate that. Mm-hmm. It's not the other person's fault.
Oh, yeah.
That they're not giving.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's where you need to evaluate who you have in your life for what reasons. You can't be upset at somebody that never responds to your texts because they don't respond to your texts. You should be thinking well, maybe why am I still texting them if I know it's just going to be defeat?
Well, also you have to, in the same token, you have to remember, you also have to be open-minded to think, well, okay, a lot of people immediately are they not texting me because they're mad at me, or did I do something, or did I say something wrong in that text, yada yada. Sometimes it's something as simple as, their phone fell in the water and it's been drying out for 2 days.
We lose service sometimes.
Oh, we lose service all the time.
I was in the middle of a back and forth conversation with Aaron and I went radio silent. Some people might immediately be like, oh, this person doesn't like me, blah, 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 or I said something that pissed them off. No, they knew. I just, okay, I guess they don't have service for a little while.
Well, I'm the worst at responding to things, and I'm sure several of you know. I mean, I don't go on Facebook. I very rarely will pop through Instagram. Even I try really hard to keep up on responding and onto comments and what. Now
we posted and tagged Mama G on Facebook, and I texted her. The text even took a while.
This is my own daughter.
Days. 3 full days of not just, it's up there, of Aaron and I having a full-blown conversation, repeatedly tagging her.
Tagged me. When I got on there, it was a whole thing of tags.
Yeah, we talked a lot. But yeah, and didn't get to. So that's why I joke, but I'm not joking.
No, it's the truth.
The easiest way to contact you is to comment on your YouTube because
Yeah.
you're out there on your own YouTube.
Well,
You're
that's
with
what
the
I'm.
world.
That's
Yeah.
the format, the social format that I'm on more, and I'm checking on a pretty much on a daily basis. I don't always check my emails. I don't have notification rings and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
so I don't want to get too just onto that concept. So
Yeah.
like we were talking about, like you got to recognize people's time.
Right. Is don't immediately take it personal because it might be something else. But then also what you're saying is if somebody's not reciprocating, not that they need to reciprocate, because that's another thing. Don't ever expect anything when you give
your
it.
time is
If
your
you
time.
offer something, you just offer that and that's it. Don't expect something back.
Yes.
And if you don't get anything back, then that's okay too. But if it's a constant and you're giving, you may want to, you definitely want to reevaluate that because it might be a taker. You might be trying to buy a friendship. There could be a whole lot of other things going on there.
And to circle it through is a good way to reevaluate this is, would you have two
beers
drinks with this person and would you let them watch your puppy?
Yeah.
So you really, and it's important.
Yeah.
It's important for your own well-being to recognize. It's important for other people to recognize.
I never heard of that. And it's,
I'm curious to maybe even, I'm not allowed to buy another book. I have too many books.
I just got a catalog with a whole bunch of books.
Oh, don't show me.
Yeah. It's like,
Works Well with Others by Ross McCammon.
Works well with others.
Yes,
I'll try to write
actually
that. I'll try to tag it down below.
Look into that.
Might be a book that might be worth reading because I'm getting the gist that it's probably all about friendships and stuff. Is that?
Yeah. It seems like he doesn't
talk with people.
He doesn't talk. This is like a 3-paragraph article, so it's not like thick with content. It's basically, just a random piece of advice goes. Yeah, it doesn't really talk about the rest of the book, but I would just...
Yeah, I mean, that's a title. It probably has a lot to do with interpersonal relationships, group relationships, and, it might be an interesting book. Maybe we'll look at it on Thrift Books. There's another book company that's really cheap, too.
Yeah, and if it's breaking it down like this in the article, I'm assuming the rest of the book is probably going to have a lot of, more simplistic ways of thinking about things. 22 minutes. Because sometimes it's really a matter of taking concepts, and I do this a lot where I take a concept and I break it completely down. I'm trying to think of one that isn't such a controversial thing right now.
We do a lot of controversial things, that's why.
So yeah, just like sometimes you got to take it out of the situation and make the same situation different. I can't think of another good way to describe it.
I'm a little confused, but what else is
well, like if you're having a hard time if you and a person are having a difficult time
coming to a meeting of the minds,
if you're having a difficult time explaining to someone the concept of the singular term they, sometimes you can't do it by talking about not that I actually care, I'm an alien pizza witch, but if I do go by things, I would be she, they. If someone's having a difficult time understanding that when it comes to how I'm identifying as, you could take it, and instead of making it using a singular they describing a human, you can use the they describing it in a different way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you do that to me a lot. You take something that I can't grasp.
I've got the perfect one. And if you have any adults in your life that don't understand this, here you go. I figured out how to describe to Mama G how phones work when it comes to speed and storage using solitaire. So when you're making a move in solitaire down here, if you have 4 open blank cards, you can move 4 cards at a time.
Right.
So you can make different, you open up to a lot bigger moves, faster moves, easier abilities.
Getting that card out of the way.
Whereas if all 4 of these cards are filled, you can physically only move the 1 card at a time.
Right.
That's how your phone works.
Yeah.
If your phone is so full with a bunch of stuff, every action you do doesn't have that much space. Whereas if you have room to be able to let programs
move
work, you can have
around.
things open at the same time.
Yeah.
So that was a way I took a concept that I had been trying to explain to her for a long time.
And I couldn't.
And then out of nowhere one day I was like, solitaire.
Yeah.
And I explained it to you.
Because I play solitaire. So I was something that I could relate to besides something foreign. Like she might as well be speaking Greek.
Which I know that's like slightly unrelated to what we were talking about, but it was still
about evaluating and And even if you have an issue with a friend, be honest as you can, and be kind about it. Always be kind about everything. There's never any reason to say things in hate or haste.
As I always say, this world is a dark and heavy place. Be somebody's light.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to sum it up, surround yourself with good people.
Yeah.
Know the people around you. Be honest and open. Two puppies.
I'd rather the two puppies and a beer.
Two puppies.
I'm not really into the beer, so that works for me.
2 drinks and a puppy is a great way to
puppies and
evaluate
a cat.
people. And
yeah,
as we always say,
and also to reevaluate and don't take it personal about different people. I mean, that's another thing. You shouldn't take anything that anybody else ever does or says personal. I know that's a total different topic, but it also has to do with that. So that could be part of a friendship disconnect. And don't take it personal, and be open-minded that, okay, they didn't text me right away. Don't jump to conclusions and get all your panties in a scrunch.
Remember, we all have a life.
Yeah,
we're all doing
lives.
something.
Our time is precious. She always says that. And we always say, thank you for your time, which we are taking up a lot of their time.
Well, I try to close us out, and then you reopened everything back up.
Yeah.
When I say, well, in conclusion...
Well, why didn't you just go like this to me like you did in the other video? All right.
Well, love y'all.
Love you. You're not going to say it?
No, because you ruined everything.
All right. Nothing matters anyway.
So have a yarn delicious day.
Okay. Bye-bye for now.